versus playing City of Traders decks,
Yes.
yeah, you still win.
I agree with you there. All right, so we have Bob Huang and Dylan Donegan.
Okay.
Okay, so two really solid players who have a lot of wins under their belt.
And we're seeing a very similar strategy, but a very different take on it here.
Is this Miracles on Miracles?
It is.
Well, no wonder they haven't finished yet.
Yes, yes. Not only will they take up the rest of this round, but they are actually going to play until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because
they would try if we wouldn't time them out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So Dylan is only playing 20 lands, which is one less than normal.
Mm-hmm.
How about Bob? Anything extreme or different?
No, I mean he has a Council's Judgment main, which Sam didn't have.
20 lands there too, actually.
Yeah.
So they're both playing a bit lighter of a count.
3 counterbalance.
3 predicted Bob's list. We're 3 predicting in Dylan's list.
Wow.
These lists are almost identical, maybe even exactly identical.
Containment Priest on that side.
One
no.
counterspell?
Oh yeah, one.
One counterspell. Yeah, these are identical lists.
From the Ashes on both sides.
It's
From
going
the
to come
Ashes.
down to
From the
draws.
Ashes is an interesting card. It costs no money in reality.
Yeah.
But online is like $50 billion.
Well, that's good to know. I think I have some on my Moto account.
Oh, do you really?
Sell them. Yeah, I've been on this card before people started playing it.
Oh, really?
So I think it's probably gone up a lot. And
I think they're at least like $30. So
here we go, game 3, and we're already deep into the game.
All right, we're pyroblasting some counterbalance. Really?
Right, so it's 1-1
with a top out.
Well, why not? It was countering it. Not
countering it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was sitting there. It looked like it was in play.
Sure. Dylan has 6 lands out to Bob's 5, and Bob just passed. So I'm guessing Bob is out of lands. Dylan hasn't missed a land drop, which means we're going into turn 7.
Look at you, sir. Ely Cassie's better than you, and he will tell you how. No. Not only do I make him look good, but we have that too.
Ooh, mentor.
Right, mentor.
This is a pretty good trump. So Bob has Red
Bob has
Blast,
a lot of
Fluster,
cards in hand,
Fluster, Force of Will, Snapcaster, Snapcaster. So he can force pitch something and then have counter magic to back it up. I don't like that he pitched Snapcaster.
No.
I would have liked him to pitch second Fluster Storm.
Yeah, I don't know why you would necessarily love to. Oh, look at that. Dylan's like, no. Yeah. Hold on there, cowboy.
Yeah, we're having words here.
Like, unless you have a time stop.
So I'd like to see Dylan go Snapcaster here after cracking a fetch. Bob Red Blast it, and then Dylan Fluster Storm both the counters from Bob.
Nice.
Yeah, he won't get the Snapcaster flashback because he won't have the land.
The mana, right.
Yeah, but that'll be a pretty solid
That's not
play.
what we saw, though.
The cute thing, though, is that Dylan hasn't played land 7. So after all this resolves and both fetches are cracked, he could draw with top, blind, and if he catches a land, flashback a Brainstorm to get a trigger off the Mentor.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
I would love to see that play.
Again, Ely playing a special match within only his head. We will, in fact, play the cards that are on the table in the order they played them.
So a Force of Will on a Force of Will. I'm not sure why that just occurred.
Just don't even.
We're conserving Fluster Storm.
Well, yeah, for the time that your opponent storms out against you. Didn't you
Yeah.
know that he had Tendrils in his deck?
Yeah. I'm very confused now.
I don't know.
Now, that is a Fluster Storm in his hand. I've seen it twice now, so I'm pretty sure. Dylan's hand, you can see it?
I don't know, he's going a little too fast for
Not
me.
the second, yeah, but when you get a chance, when he slows down.
You're closer to the monitor.
Well,
All right,
we'll find out for certain
so
soon.
Bob has assembled counterbalance top, or are we still responding to the counterbalance?
No, still responding. We're going to do some top
Bob's
triggers.
putting it way too close to that Sensei's Divani top for my liking. I think it's in play every single time.
Bob is setting up a line where he's counting on locking out Dylan, and that's why he took Snapcaster Exile over Flusterstorm.
Okay.
But I don't like it.
No, sir, I don't like it.
No, I don't.
Did you watch Ren and Stimpy as a kid?
I did. So good.
Would you like to try Gritty Kitty or Brand X? What do you think of Brand X? No, sir, I don't like it. All right, so we see a red Elemental Blast on the Snapcaster.
Now Dylan's in this awful position where Flusterstorm is not good.
No bueno.
I think he's really going to learn his lesson here. Should have Flusterstormed and not forced last turn.
Yep. All right. Here it comes, and we both know it's not going to work out so
Do you
well.
think he thought it was only a Spell Pierce and not the pay 3 that it was?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he didn't cast it?
What would you like to... Yes, I would like to counter my own red elemental blast. Wait, no, I wouldn't. All right, we do have a monk, and it looks like it's Richard Garfield.
No. It's
Looks like it's
Jacob
Richard
Wilson.
Ah, boo.
Yeah, unfortunately. I would have much rather had it be Richard Garfield.
Doesn't it look? Doesn't that kind of look like Richard Garfield from here, though? Like on his picture on the unglued card that he had.
I think you might need glasses.
I do. It's fair. Again, I'm further from the monitor than you.
Whatever you need to tell yourself.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an altar on a Jacob Wilson token.
And then improve it to Richard Garfield.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, so Dylan's not in the... He's not in a great spot, but he's not in the worst spot either.
It all depends if Bob can find Terminus before he dies in 2 turns.
Right. Well, we see another mentor there, so Dylan does have a way to refuel if that happens, but he's never going to probably resolve it again.
Right, and he could be locked out. I'd like him to take counterbalance here, get another trigger from the mentor, grow his guys a little bit more, and clock Bob quickly. Because you don't know how many Terminuses are left in a deck at this point.
Right. Well, you're not going to tell us, Professor Ely?
Well, my guess would be 2 if I were playing. Because again, the logic is just like you're playing against Sanded Swarm with Storm. Cut them in half. Make sure you don't completely lose to it, but you don't draw too many of them either.
Yeah, I think I would probably be on a higher number just, I mean, knowing that the mentors still exist.
Yeah?
I don't know. That's me.
It's the problem with these matchups. If you don't have a high counter ratio, then you lose to the counterbalance top combo.
Right.
Miracles on Miracles is quite tricky, and it's who goes first kind of a situation.
Sure.
So I think Bob had a land this whole time that was just off the camera, and that's why Flusterstorm didn't occur.
Aha.
I think now we know.
Oh, there's the fetch. Yep. Are you talking about that Scalding Tarn that was off?
Yeah, I think it was just off the camera. We should get a little bit better about telling the judges to remind players to stay in the camera. There seems to be like a lot of unused space.
What's the new card down below Sensei's Divine Top? I can't make it out from here.
The Click?
Is it a Click? Okay.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Click.
Okay.
And that's probably a Drost? No, it's in response to the last top activation, so it wouldn't get countered.
Gotcha.
I think I like it after the top activation resolves because Bob's not likely to put a 3 on top. And say he left Terminus on top to use on his turn, you can force him to draw it on your turn and not be able to cast it.
Not do anything with it, yeah. I have all these Flusterstorms.
So it seems like it's easy to take Snapcaster here, yep.
Right.
Draw. And say if that were Terminus, for instance, you'd be like doing the happy dance.
Right. So Bob putting the Snapcaster back into the mix of the deck, fetching out a Mountain.
Searching for Mentor, because the life totals haven't been updated properly.
There we go.
Now.
Look at that, 11.
So Ponder is going to be the keep here. Cast on main phase. Dig for more Termini.
I think you should cast it during combat. You're going to quicken it, right?
Yes. I do want to see Quicken used effectively. That'd be great.
It would be fantastic. All right. Oh, Ely was right. It was on the main phase. You are a professor. I did it.
I always wanted there to be a class on Magic the Gathering. It'd be great. I wouldn't even be the professor. I'd just be like the guest speaker one day.
All right. All right. I could see that.
Yeah.
Who would be the professor?
That's a good question. LSV, I think, would be a great one.
It would certainly be punny.
Yeah. It'd be punny and intelligent, kind and considerate. The man's great.
What would the over-under be on the amount of times that he says boom?
So Bob probably realizes that he might be dead on the next combat. So he's trying to, there's
There it
Terminus
is.
right on time. Man, that was exactly what he needed when he needed it.
Yes.
So his opponent playing off the top.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pun because he also has a top out.
Oh, look at that. Top. You said top.
On your upkeep. Yep, let's do it on your upkeep.
Yep. No, I don't want you to draw that card yet.
Nope. Luckily, he has 2 Flusterstorms to make sure this resolves.
Yeah, I don't know how much luck will necessarily be involved. It looks...
But a Flusterstorm from Dylan could stop it. A single one.
a single one.
Yeah.
But you can Flusterstorm all the Flusterstorm copies with your Flusterstorm.
Wow, he's not even bothering. He's going to resolve Mentor and Jace? No, just Jace. Only has 6 mana out.
You could find it off of a Brainstorm.
Ooh,
Oh,
Snapcaster. And now Dylan's like, really? Had it all?
All right, so Snapcaster, Counterbalance.
Yeah, Dylan's getting locked out next turn. So unless he... Nope, he's not surviving another 8 minutes.
No. Well, and this is that different ethical question. If you are in the Counterbalance Miracle Mirror, do you scoop then to someone because you both don't want to be in the draw bracket?
That's a good question. I think it would depend on how many rounds are left in the tournament. This is round 4. There's 4 rounds to go before we have a top 8 cut. So there's round 5, 6, 7, 8, and you possibly want to get 1 more drawn. So maybe you're playing 3 more rounds. Yeah, I think you probably do. Personally, I always make the good guy call, and I'm like, you deserve this. I don't. I scoop.
Wow.
But I find it to be different depending on who's playing the game. And I find that usually I'm in the minority, not the majority.
No, yeah, certainly.
So that's not a bad top 3 to look at at all when you're going to predict yourself. So
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get the counterspell to make the Mentor go away.
yes, sir.
I mean, seeing that Dylan is playing virtually the same deck, he has to be. Well, you can see it right now. You can see that the head in the hands.
Yes.
Like, oh,
Classic.
crud.
How do I get out of this?
Yep. All right, so counterspell on the Monastery Mentor. Counterbalance.
Now that's interesting.
The lockout on both sides.
Yeah. Wow, he's going to do that, drawing 2 Tundras. I think
Wow.
Dylan's back in this game.
Crazy.
The sneaky counterbalance comeback.
Look how damaging Dylan is.
It resolved, it resolved, it resolved.
I'm back in it. I can do it, Paul. I can do it.
He didn't try to play top. Well, I guess it wouldn't have done anything. That makes sense. Wow, Dylan back in it. I think there had to be some errors on Bob's side to do this.
He was so far ahead.
Yeah.
Do you think he should have let the Mentor resolve?
It's possible. I mean, he wasn't super worried about it, especially having his opponent locked out.
I mean, if he lets that resolve, he gets to predict, get rid of one of the lands.
I think that's what I would have liked him to do first, is predict away a Strand.
Right.
I think like him wanting to be able to hold up 2 Flusterstorms was overkill.
Right.
Opponent knows you have them. Opponent has lots of mana. Most of the spells you want to counter aren't instants and sorceries.
I mean, that was certainly that time where Bob was wishing that he had Spell Pierce and not Flusterstorm.
Yeah. I actually don't love Flusterstorm in these mirrors. When I play Miracles, I don't often board in more than 1.
I mean, you got to win the one you got to win, but the other ones, we just saw it. Couldn't counter a creature with it. Couldn't counter an enchantment with it. Now we're seeing Disenchant on the counterbalance.
Let's see a blind flip. Brick.
Oh.
It's another reason I don't like playing this here. Its counterbalance isn't doing much, and now you're letting him shuffle away an island that he otherwise wouldn't have known was coming.
Right. It looks like Bob might be thinking about fighting over it, though.
Well, he'd have to use his Force of Will, Hardcast, or double Flusterstorm.
Well, he could. Why he could force a will tossing one of the Flusterstorms.
That seems worse.
Oh,
that is
what
worse.
He did.
Why not Hardcast?
Well, because that uses mana, and he had uses for that mana. No,
Misstep.
Oh, mental misstep.
Mental misstep.
That was a good card.
That's what I was referring to. Mental misstep.
Yeah, I think he probably should have been tapping into that at that point.
Yeah. Ooh, bad news for everybody in the event hall. The food closed.
Not on the, you have the other side.
Oh, and now we have Oreo
Hey.
churros.
Oh yeah, Oreo
and pretzels
churros. It
left.
sounds tremendous.
That does sound insane. Yeah, I cannot eat that. I'll probably die.
You would die? Yeah. Are you diabetic or something?
Lactose intolerant.
Oh, okay.
But,
What if we get it like? What if they tell you there's no lactose in Oreos?
yeah. Well, then what about the rest?
That's the only thing that we were concerned about. All right.
I'd like to be able to finish out coverage if I could.
Nice. All right. So Dylan is down to 7, but he's certainly in the dominant position here still.
Yes.
He does have the quote-unquote combo assembled.
He does have to be careful about drawing with top because Bob does have that Pyroblast.
Council's judgment.
So, like, here's that weird spot where sometimes you're forced to hit Snapcaster.
Right. But he knows that that's probably still not going to resolve. Look how thin the library's getting. Yeah, because he certainly knows that Bob still has the Flusterstorm and a Red Blast or a Pyroblast.
Man, Bob tripping good. That Forceful was a good draw.
Yep. I think he's going to be priced into casting on that Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah. This is where the time he's spending to think is will I draw something else better to deal with that Snapcaster before it kills me?
Right.
I find the safe play is probably just Council's Judgmenting the Snapcaster and not the Counterbalance.
Right. Okay, no blind flip. It's another card that you can miscast on Moto. I mean, you cast it right, but the opponent could lose 2 permanents.
Why is
It's
he
very
tapping all
easy
his
to
red? Okay, he
click the
fixed
wrong
it.
thing.
But yes, I agree.
All right, so there's the hard cast force that you were asking for.
Yep. Let's spin top in response.
Yep. Yeah, it could be something below the lands.
Yep.
That something being a force of will.
That would be the best.
And nope.
Pyroblast? If it is a Pyroblast and you draw with top here, it's an excellent
I don't
trap.
know. Yeah, I don't know if that's where you would want to go.
But it's an excellent trap because Bob might think about Pyroblasting Counterbalance and then get got.
Sure.
I think what Dylan was thinking, if it is Pyroblast though, is he'll probably just use that next turn to deal with the Snapcaster
Right.
and just keep Bob under lockdown.
All right, so Dylan's at 3. Yeah, it is Pyroblast.
Dylan is slow rolling this Snapcaster in his hand pretty savagely.
He's playing very cautious from this spot.
Yeah.
All right, so we're fighting on Bob's turn, right? Can't go to 1.
No, definitely not.
Okay, here we are.
Oof,
0.
got a lot of misses.
Yep.
Very fortunate for Dylan.
Well, Bob does have a Power Blast.
But he's locked under the top combo, so it's probably not looking appealing.
Now, if you guys heard that they just called time, obviously there's probably a bit of an extension here for these guys.
Right. So Bob really can't make up his mind. Do I go? Do I stay?
Should I stay or should I go now?
And now Dylan gets to predict.
Yeah, that seems like the card to hit.
Disenchant. Ooh.
Oh,
I
interesting.
think that was unnecessary.
Well, he knows he's in the clear with it for the most part, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's the best play.
No,
That
but if he
disenchant-
feels like that's his route to victory is to not have Bob have a counterbalance, like his threat density at this point might be almost nothing.
I would worry about time though and getting the W.
Sure.
Like you said, you really don't want to draw.
Well, Bob's got to be a little happy right now, seeing that his next draw is a treat.
Yeah. Let's see if Dylan can come up with an answer. It's a brainstorm and a fetch.
He literally needs like 2 angels.
The right draw is drawing the brainstorm. You got one more card to look at.
Sure. Ruh-roh.
All right, let's fetch.
Yeah, Dylan's in panic mode now.
Did he not keep any Terminus in?
Ooh, that would seem...
I didn't see one.
That would seem terrible. I know you said to go down to 2, and I said I would probably keep a higher number. Dylan might have said we're both wrong and just said, nope, don't need those.
Ooh. Bob might be stealing this one.
Yeah.
You can see Dylan is probably like agonizing this position now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, so here it is in treat. How much does Bob put in? If you're Bob, you probably leave some mana open.
I leave Flusterstorm mana open.
Just Flusterstorm?
Yeah.
All right, Bob's being a little more cautious. He doesn't need that many angels. He really needs like 2. Like he could have paid full cost for the entreat and still done okay.
Yeah, I like this. I think this is the right number of mana to keep up. I don't know that you need 5 angels, but...
No.
Oh,
all right, we saw the handshake.
Dylan doesn't have Terminus in the deck. Just acknowledged it.
Yeah, because he could have fetched again, too.
Or just had one more look after his draw step.
No, absolutely. So, you know what? That was an exciting Miracles Mirror.
It was. I think that Bob probably has played more and knew it a little bit better. I think Dylan was playing a little bit better because I didn't like some of the card choices that we did with Bob's.
Right.
But it went to Bob. Took it down.
I mean, that was definitely back and forth. You know,
and that's what we see in Legacy whenever there's a mirror of any kind. We've seen that with the Delver mirrors now the Miracle mirrors. It's going to be fun when we see a more mixed match of things.
Sure.
I'd like to get some more combo up in here, actually.
I still like to see some Eldrazi, too.
Yeah.
Really, or just something really, like, aggro non-brainstorm.
So we're going to go on break here in a little bit, and we're probably going to be back in 10 minutes or so. So stay tuned, and we're going to come back.
See ya.
See you later.
The first Columbus